Hi everybody, welcome back to the Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Miss Master Self 101 featuring Duchess in the cut, who clearly had to make her debut because she wanted to be seen and heard. But yes, y'all, welcome back to Miss Master Self 101. This is where we study different techniques, different strategies to level up ourselves, to learn about self-discipline, to actually exercise self-discipline, and to ultimately master ourselves at the end of the day. Why is that important? Because you have to master self first. If you don't know what's going on in here, what's going on here, and what's going on right here, you don't have anything to project out into the world, really. So we want to be sure that we are being intentional when we put out our frequencies and our vibrations into the universe so that we could manifest everything that we desire, so we can live the life that we want to live. And that is the purpose of us mastering ourselves. So good for you. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, welcome. Go ahead and hit that like button if you are enjoying the content, because you are going to enjoy today's content as well. Comment, subscribe, turn on your post notification bell, and let's go ahead and get into today's information. So y'all, let's go ahead and start with the basics. So today's topic is going to be about self-awareness. So what is self-awareness and how can we be more self-aware? Let's start with the definition of self-awareness. Self-awareness is basically having a deep knowing of yourself and also understanding how you affect others. So when it comes to self-awareness, it's the ability to understand your thoughts, your feelings, and your behaviors, and also how they influence your actions and your interactions in the world. Self-awareness involves being aware of your internal state, which your internal state is your emotions, those are your values, those are your strengths and your weaknesses. And it also involves how others perceive you. Why is that important? Firstly, it's important to understand who self is, and what you want from out of yourself, so that you know how to move and operate in this universe. You got to understand that we live in an energetic world. We live in a universe, an energetic universe. What is energy? Energy is matter that cannot be what? Created nor destroyed. Y'all remember that from school, right? They were onto something, but they just didn't teach us the real. So it's important for us to understand what our energy is and what kind of energy we are putting out into the world, because that is going to depict on the life that we're living, not just right now, but the life that we're going to be living in the future as well. So it's important to be more self-aware so that you know you're aware of the things you're saying, of the things that you're feeling, so you know what you're manifesting in the future. For example, when it comes to self-awareness, it's important to focus on the now, to stay in the present, because when you stay in the present and you show gratitude and you give the present attention, you get more you get more than just the present. So you get a lot of things that gravitate and magnetize towards you that you want, that's currently happening right now, but it also sets up the future as well. You see that thing, gratitude? Gratitude is one of the highest frequencies when it comes to manifesting. It's one of the easiest ways to get whatever it is that you want out of this world, out of this universe. So when you focus on the now and you're grateful about the now and what you have, and even if you don't have what you want in the future, if you're grateful for it right now, that is how you are going to manifest and bring whatever it is that you want into the future. That's how you write your own script. That's how you write your own story. If you've ever heard people refer to manifestation or alchemy as that, that's how you create your own being. That's how you create your own living. So, what are some of the ways that we can become more self-aware? We're going to talk about that today and discuss a few different techniques. I've done them before. Plenty of people who I'm surrounded by, I've watched them go through it before, and I've studied them and seen the entire process and the effects that they gained at the end of the process. So I know that this is real, this does work, and this is exactly how life works. So we'll discuss just a couple of topics. There's more than what we're going to discuss right now, but these are some of the basics that I know to be some of the strongest and quickest ways to become more self-aware. Number one is journaling. Journaling is when you literally just mind dump. Like you just write. At first, it's like you almost pick a topic to write about. So let's say, for example, I want to write about what I'm grateful for, and you start writing about what you're grateful for. Or I just want to write about my day and record how I felt today and the different things that happened today because it stood out to me. And you start writing, right? Eventually, you get to this point where you just start writing, and it's like your mind is doing the writing, but it's your hand that's writing, but it's literally your mind that's just talking. And you get to a point where you start writing and you start writing and you start writing. And when you go back and reread it, you start noticing certain things. You start noticing things, how you feel. You start recognizing certain patterns and what's going on inside of your life. That is one of the ways how journaling benefits us. With journaling, we can always go back and look and reflect and analyze. Because when you're in the process of writing, you're in the now. So all of your emotions, all of your thoughts, all of your feelings, you want to let that out. You want to bring those out to see the true magnitude of what it is that you're feeling. You want to get down to the root of it. Journaling helps you get to the root of your feelings and emotions, or maybe something that's bothering you, because you're going to either continue to talk about the same topic, or one topic is going to come up quite frequently, and those will be strong indicators of how you know, okay, this may be somewhere where I need to focus on in life right now. Maybe I need to think about this a different way and figure out and strategize how I can benefit the most from this situation. Once you strategize and figure out how you can benefit from a situation, next is going to be scripting. All you got to do is start writing out what it is that you want from that situation. So when you're able to pinpoint a problem, or maybe something that's bothering you in life, right? You pinpoint that problem and you know it, and now you start strategizing how you can overcome that problem. There's a great way on how you manifest to bring whatever results or success that it is that you want. You're going to bring that into your life, but you're also being a lot more self-aware, because now you understand what's really going on in your subconscious. And that's really the main thing when it comes to it, because a lot of people don't understand and they don't realize that your subconscious is what really rules your mind. A lot of your thinking and your thought patterns and what you do is based off of things that come from deep down in your subconscious. It almost operates about 90% of your actions that you live out on a day-to-day basis. So that's why journaling is so important, because it allows your subconscious to like blab and just get it out, so you know what's really going on in there. The next thing that you can do to become a little bit more self-aware is watch therapy shows. You know how they got different type of reality shows that offer therapy in there, or maybe even dating shows? Like, for example, I like watching the OWN Network, Oprah Winfrey Network, and there's a show on there with Nephew Tommy. It's called Ready to Love. Y'all, I love that show down. It's a dating show, but it's more than dating. It's also with therapy. They teach you how to date. They teach you what to look for, but it also teaches you about yourself in the process. And there's a lot of self-awareness in that show as well. So that'd be a great place if you want to start with being a little bit more self-aware, and also giving yourself some self-soothing and some self-therapy without going to an actual therapist itself. I'm telling y'all, these shows be hitting. It just depends on what you watch. They have another one on the same network, the OWN Network, and it's called Family or Fiance. Essentially, it's about a couple that comes, and they usually have problems where maybe their family doesn't get along, or their family feels like there is some reason why they shouldn't be getting married. So they'll come and voice their opinions, and they work through it, and they see different type of therapists, and they do different exercises and strategies to kind of break down and get to the root of the problem so that they can move forward. Now, this is only a 3-day process, the show, but it gives them the tools that they need, the tools and the resources in order to move forward so that they can overcome whatever big obstacle is in their way of getting their, desire, their success. It's a great show, phenomenal, great therapy in there as well. And it's a lot of different shows that you can find on TV now that offer some type of therapy, some type of self-soothing where you don't have to go to an actual therapist. Now, yes, it is great to go to an actual therapist. For some reason, people that are like me, they just feel like, I don't know if they just feel like mental health is just not as important as it is, or they just don't like going to a stranger and telling their business to a stranger. I'd rather tell my business to a stranger and tell my business to a friend sometimes, to be honest with you. But to each his own. But it just depends on how you look at therapy. That is another great way to become more self-aware. It's a very direct way to become self-aware because you actually get that face time, that one-on-one with a professional who studies this, who has been doing it, who has gained some experience in it now, and they can help you sort through things in your mind. That's my perception of therapy. I don't look at therapy as a solution. I look at therapy as a tool. Therapy is a tool to help me sort through what's really going inside of my subconscious so that I'm able to heal it and then move forward happily and blissfully and joyfully in my life. So it depends on how you look at therapy, but that is a great and excellent way to become more self-aware. The next technique that we'll talk about is doing daily silence and thinking time. I think it's vitally important for you to set aside some time every single day to just think, where you kind of turn off your mind, not worry about any problems, any issues, anything exciting coming up. You just don't think about anything, and you just allow your mind to roam to whatever it roams to. The majority of the time it roams to the bigger issues that are weighing on your mind, and you end up getting a lot of answers that come from within. I have no other way to explain where those answers and that information and those resources come from. But when you start to get to know self, and when you quiet yourself, this is why people meditate. Once you quiet yourself and quiet your mind, a lot of answers start flowing to you. And I believe it on a more spiritual level to be answers coming from the unknown, to come from the universe itself, to come from your ancestors, to come from your family that has passed on. So, you should be setting aside maybe anywhere from 10 to an hour. So anywhere from 10 to 60 minutes per day where you just sit down and you just think and you visualize. And if there's something that you want, you imagine it and start thinking about it. Or if you have a problem, you start thinking about solutions, and start giving focus to whatever that issue is or whatever it is that you're thinking about. It's a great way to become more self-aware. Another way is to read self-improvement books. Now, I'm sorry y'all did not do a list. I should have wrote out a list to give y'all some books that I recommend, but I'm pretty sure I can think of some stuff on the top of the dome. First and foremost, I love The Mastery of Love by Don Ruiz. I believe his name is Miguel Don Ruiz. Oh my God, y'all. It's a book that comes from the Toltec perspective. Excellent, amazing work. Very easy to read, very quick too. It's not a long book, and it's so informational. It guides you through the process of self-love. A lot of people pick it up and think it's the mastery of just love. When people hear love, they think romantic love. It gives you a guide and a blueprint of what's going on within. Now, when you talk about self-awareness, that's the book that you want to pick up. When you talk about shadow work, that's the book you want to pick up. It's an excellent starting place, and it really dives in to take care of the root issue versus putting a band-aid on how you feel. It gives you the reasons of why you may be feeling certain type things, and it gives you strategies and techniques to get over it. It gives you scientific facts and findings behind it, and also it gives you a spiritual analysis of how whatever it is works in the real world. Like, y'all, it's an amazing book, so I definitely recommend that one as a self-improvement book. If you need a pick-me-up, or if you need some positivity, or if you need to learn how to become more positive, I highly recommend The Power of Positive Thinking by Dr. Norman Vincent Peale. Now, that book is a little bit religious-based, but it is an excellent book as well. It's spiritual and it's religious, but it's a great pick-me-up. Another one for self-improvement, there is a book called See You at the Top by Zig Ziglar. It's a great book. I would also recommend The Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz. That's an excellent self-improvement book. Ooh, y'all, we kind of discussed this one already by Napoleon Hill, The 16 Lessons, The Law of Success, The 16 Lessons in Law of Success. The 16 Lessons in Law of Success by Napoleon Hill. Did y'all hear the tongue tie just now? That is an amazing book. It is a longer read, but it is easy to read and understand the information that's in there. And those are the ones that I'm just thinking off the top of my dome, y'all. But there's plenty more. I'll probably have to leave a list, and I'll jot that list down below so that y'all can see some titles so you can look them up for yourself and see what calls out to you and see what speaks to you. And that's an excellent way to become more self-aware, by reading through the works of others that have used this information and have found success. I have two more for you guys. Grounding is an excellent way to become more self-aware. A lot of people don't know what grounding is, so we're going to talk about that. I did look up the definition of grounding on the internet. So according to Google, you know how I do, grounding is a practice of making direct contact with the earth's surface. So if you're one of those scientific people who are not spiritual and don't understand what it means to be contact, skin to skin with the ground, with the universe, where we come from, what we are and what we're made of, then here's the scientifics behind it. So it says grounding is based on the theory that Earth has a negative electrical charge that can benefit human health by transferring electrons into the body. Its proponents of grounding claim that it can reduce inflammation, improve sleep quality, reduce pain, boost the immune system, and promote relaxation and stress reduction. And if you know, you know. You know, the real ones know. I'm very spiritual and I've been in this game for quite some time now. My conscience has been open and very aware for some time. And grounding is it. Grounding is in, and that definition was straight, it was concise, and right to the point. That's exactly what grounding is. So let's talk about a couple of different ways to ground. They say you can do mindful breathing, connecting with nature, engaging your senses, and also physical grounding exercises. So first, being breath exercises. Y'all, there are lots of different breathing exercises that you can do. Y'all have to understand that the regular breathing that we do on an everyday basis, the breathing that I'm doing right now as I'm recording this video, is not the type of breath that we should be receiving. We don't receive full breath. So I'm going to sit up straight, and I want you to do the same thing. Practice this with me real quick, y'all. We're going to do a couple of breathing techniques. I want y'all to see it. I'm going to give y'all a real time depiction of different breathing techniques and how that oxygen hits different. So the first one, we're going to just breathe in deeply through our nose and then out through our mouth, and we're going to count up to, how about 7. So we're going to inhale for 7 seconds, and then we're going to breathe out for 7 seconds. So inhale, breathe out. You want to elongate your inhales and also elongate your exhales. So we're going to do it again, but this time we're going to breathe in for 7 seconds. So we're going to hold that breath for 7 seconds. Then we're going to release for 7 seconds. Go ahead. Do that a few times. Each one of these different breaths that we do, I want y'all to do it 3 times. So that first breath that we did, breathe in for 7 seconds, breathe out for 7 seconds. Do that 3 times. Then I want you to do the next round of inhale for 7 seconds, hold for 7 seconds, and then exhale for 7 seconds. Do that for 3 rounds. And for the last one, we're gonna do more of a quick into the nose, out the mouth, but it's going to be very, very quick, and we're going to do 7 of them. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a demonstration. So we're going to go. So breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. In through your nose, out through your mouth. In through your nose, out through your mouth. 7 times. Do that for 3 different rounds now. After that 3rd one, I guarantee you're going to feel a whole different kind of breath quality. The amount of oxygen that you just gave, not just your body, but also your brain. I know your brain, your body in there screaming, thank you. Because we don't get that kind of oxygen on a regular basis because our breathing is so shallow. It's just, your diaphragm doesn't even move. You need to get those kind of breaths in. Those are simple ways that you can connect to yourself. Those are considered ways of grounding yourself. So practice on those different breathing techniques, and that can be a way that you are able to ground yourself and become more self-aware. The next one they said was engage your senses. So they say do mindful breathing, which we just did. Listen to soothing music. So that's a good one. And feel objects. If you're a tactile person, maybe soft objects feel good, like velvets or cotton, or I don't know. And then they have connecting with nature. We already know, hands down, if you are a spiritual person, you already know that connecting with nature is one of the top ways to become more self-aware. Connecting with nature is connecting back to yourself. You are nature. We come from nature. We come from the universe. We come from Mother Nature. So when you connect with Mother Nature, you are just basically connecting back with your true self. So you can connect with nature by walking through a park. You can go to a beach. You can walk on the sand. You can walk in some soil. That's always a great way. You can go to like a beach or something and put your feet and walk in the water. It's an excellent way to connect and to ground back with the universe and become self-aware. And then last but not least, I have on the list as a way to become more self-aware is listening to frequency music. So this one now, some people don't really understand what frequency is. So when people say the word energy, vibration, frequency, essentially they all mean the same thing. So I want you to understand that first and foremost, it's all the same thing. What is energy? Energy is a source of matter that cannot be created nor destroyed. Okay, so energy has always been here and will always be here. Got it. But what exactly is energy? What is vibration? What is frequency? It is literally a wavelength. Like how you have, how we learned in school about different electromagnetic wavelengths and radio wavelengths and how they go like this and more wider or more smaller space together. That's exactly what energy, vibration, or frequency is. So when you put out a vibration, that's what you're putting out into the world. So when you sit here and say, okay, I didn't bring lunch to work today. I am so hungry right now. I hope I get some food out of just nowhere. That'd be really nice for somebody just to surprise me with breakfast this morning. That is your frequency. I want somebody to surprise me with breakfast. So that frequency goes out into the universe. When you put out a frequency, by universal law, there is something or someone else on the end of that wavelength that is going to pick up that frequency that wants to give or gift someone with breakfast this morning. And you guys are going to literally magnetize right towards each other. That is what energy, frequency, and vibration is. So when you listen to frequency healing music, depending on what you're trying to heal, different wavelengths, different frequencies of music heal different things in the body. They have different goals. So you'll see that you have, 341 hertz or 777 hertz to heal the body, or this to heal headaches, or this to regulate hormonal system. You have all different types of healing frequencies in the world. And that's what they're for, to heal the body. I'll tell you guys something else. When it comes to reggae music is very healing. Why do you think people go to Jamaica and they fall in love? They hear the music and they just all have a good time. It's not the weed smoking. It's not the liquor that they're drinking. It's none of that. It's the vibes. It's the music, literally. It's the vibrations that's in it. When you hear those old time reggae music such as Bob Marley, they operate off of a certain type of wavelength that gives you a certain feeling, that opens your third eye to a different type of conscious, which is essentially why his music, people didn't want his music to be as big as it is, but it is as big as it is because it is as big as it is. So listening to different types of healing frequencies can allow you to be a little bit more self-aware, well, a lot more self-aware as well. So yeah, y'all, that's all I have for you today. I didn't want to make this video too long, but I did just want to drop this gem because it was on my mind today, so I wanted to come on here and speak. So y'all, stay tuned for the next episode where we'll be discussing another matter of mastering self. I had fun with y'all today. I enjoyed seeing you again. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.